Man, rock
I
intro.
know.
I
I
miss
miss
rock
rock
intro. We need to
intro.
bring it back or
Yeah, we need to bring it back.
get
We'll
John to
get
play it
John to
live. Yeah.
play live, and then we can I can swing over the camera and he could just be in the background. Or
Exactly. Just
maybe he can just sit behind me on the couch,
yeah,
creepily with a little tiny keyboard
but just jamming the whole time. Oh, very nice. I just finished
doing
my tiny coffee.
your tiny. Are you drinking tiny coffees for a reason, or is it like a special Italian tiny coffee?
I mean, kind of mix it up. I will say, I mean, ever since I got back from France, I have been, which has been months, been drinking coffee like it's my job.
Mhm.
So, because it kind of is my job right now, just drinking
Yeah.
coffee. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
I mix it up. I'll do like a normal pot of coffee, but then also mix in some espresso and whatnot.
My gosh.
So, I mean, damn, dude, since last time we talked, the world is even more
The
on fire.
world is even more on fire. It's been so depressing. Welcome, everybody. We're Terror and Tacos. We talk about horror movies and we eat tacos, which I did eat tacos at a new place this time, and I'll tell you about it in a little bit.
Nice.
But it's yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, it's real bad, man. I don't know, it feels I can't really function. And then we
Yeah.
talked the other day and we're like, let's maybe talking horror movies will bring a little bit of a moment of joy or something or a
Yeah,
break.
well, it's been remember when you were writing for that podcast and it was really like the crime podcast and it was kind of hard for you to watch horror sometimes?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
it's
like the
been
world is so fucked.
yeah.
And then on not that it's remotely the same thing. And then like we got iced in for like, I don't know, 6 fucking days.
Yeah,
Like
it's so weird.
yeah, yeah,
I don't
because
understand
for
it.
those of you who live in northern states or other states that get a lot of snow, I know it probably makes no sense, but when we get ice here, they don't do anything.
No.
There's
No,
no
because there's no putting sand or salt on the roads. Not a friendly neighborhood, shovel guy that
yeah,
comes and
there's
shovels the streets. We're not equipped for it. But I think we're getting better. This time at least, it was kind of like, all right, Dallas is shutting down.
yeah, and power for the most part stayed on for people,
Mm,
so it wasn't nearly as bad as last time, but it was like, I hope you have food because you're not
yeah,
leaving your house. So
yeah.
anyway, world on fire. Dallas was iced in. Gonna be 80 degrees tomorrow though, so we're fine.
But we received our voter registration cards
Yeah,
yesterday,
I got
and
mine too.
so I'm like, put them where that
Yeah,
that they are.
yeah,
Do not lose them. People, take your voter registration card with you when it's time to vote. Take your ID. They may not ask for it, but they might
but
because
they
they're
might,
assholes.
especially if you look more like you than me.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's be
If you look
honest.
like me, also, I'm just saying, I've started carrying my passport. I know the chances are not super super high. I mean, because our governor sucks our president's cock. Um, so
Indeed.
maybe we won't see it that badly here.
Right.
We know why it's happening in the states where it's happening. We
Yeah,
know why.
but it's all fucking terrible.
It's all terrible, and it's just better to be safe
Yeah.
out in the world.
And to try, I guess, to find at least what
Some
we've like
joy.
some joy and moments of respite. So where did you get it? Where did you get new tacos?
Oh, so there's a place down the street from my house that's adjacent to a little gas station, and it's just called Tacos 24/7.
Hell yes.
Big neon sign. And I saw it on the way home last night from work. And I thought, tacos 24. Well, it's 24/7 right now.
Yeah, it's always 24.
It's always 24/7. So I stopped in and I got some tacos and they're really good. I mean, they're just regular street tacos, nothing fancy.
Available at 24/7, which is really the key.
Yeah, on the corner of Ferguson and Shiloh, and that's really really that's key is that they're available 24/7.
24/7. Yeah. Well, during the ice storm, I like basically lived on like Aspen had Aspen was smart and got a bunch of food before the storm came. So I had just like grilled chicken at home, but we had a ton of Central Market tortillas.
Oh, the
So I
best.
just sort of lived on chicken tacos for a week, which was nice, you know? Little
That's good.
sour cream, little cheese,
Yeah,
boom, perfect.
you're done.
Yeah, and those
You're
tortillas are
done.
great.
Yeah,
Uh,
Central Market tortillas are the best.
all
In
right,
Dallas,
so
anyway.
we're back. We're watching horror movies again. Taran Tacos, Christy and Michael. We watched a relatively new film, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
2025 Keeper,
Keeper.
which is Osgood Perkins' latest film,
Yes.
starring Tatiana Maslany and Rossif Sutherland, who
Son
is
of,
is the son of Donald Sutherland that I did not know about until I watched this movie.
brother of, half brother.
Half brother of Kiefer Sutherland, but it's again makes total sense when you know the story, but it was so
Yeah.
weird because he is French Canadian, not just
Mhm.
Canadian like Keebler, like Kiefer. He's French Canadian. His mother's French Canadian from Quebec, and he lived his like spent most of his youth in Paris.
Mhm.
So it's like you're watching a dude who looks like Donald Sutherland and kind of like Kiefer. Like you can there's a like maybe a crossover, but he sounds so French, dude.
Yeah, like, I had no idea until you told me that he was Donald Sutherland's son. He looked familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on it, but I couldn't decide if I liked his vocal pattern choices or if it was bugging me, and then you said, "He's Donald Sutherland's son, and he's French Canadian." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this explains everything."
Yeah, and it really is
Unique.
it's a different vocal pattern. Like, of course it is. If French is your first language and then Quebecois is its own or French Canadian is its own thing. And
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, that was just like a nice, weird little discovery. Like, oh, there's another Sutherland out there.
Yeah.
But okay, so I guess we just this is gonna be spoilers.
Sure.
I knew nothing other than, you know, it was Osgood Perkins and he kinda does seem to live in a very
In
specific
his
universe.
Yeah, he's got his own world. Also, I knew nothing about it. My daughter had seen it, and she kind of, like, hesitated to tell me what it was about or even talk a lot about it, and
Yeah, which
she is, like, as the kids say, she's a huge Oz Perkins stan.
she's a Perkins stan?
Yeah, so the fact that she was like, um, I was just like, "Oh, okay, well, now I'm curious, I wanna see this." But, I mean, I have to say, like, I kind of loved it.
I did too.
I
I
loved it
I did
so
too,
much.
and I had heard from a couple of friends who liked it, even like, Greg Lush, friend of the show,
Mhm.
he sees, like, literally
Everything.
everything. I mean, everything except that fucking Melania movie, because Lush is he's a real one. He's not gonna
He's
see
a
that
real
shit.
American.
Yeah, he's not gonna see that shit. But even like he didn't give anything away, and I thought if it just sounded Lush will probably correct me if I'm wrong. It sounded like he liked it, but almost like expected more because also a huge Oz Perkins fan.
Mhm.
And I get it. It's almost like not a lot happens until
No, but
sort of
so much is happening.
yeah, and so I really enjoyed it. And I maybe part of it is I don't know, I kind of went in, I didn't know anything about it, and I went in because having talked to Gregory and another friend who both of them liked it, but neither of them were like, I was blown away. I
Mhm.
was like, all right, well, we'll see how it happens. And then I just really enjoyed it. Like also I love Tatiana Maslany.
Mhm.
People, y'all, if you haven't seen Orphan Black, watch it. It's a BBC show. It's like a British Canadian show. She's amazing on it. But anyway,
They were both great.
yeah,
And again, like, just from the word go, cinematography is beautiful.
beautiful.
Oh my god.
I didn't even look, but I assume like everybody in it is Canadian, including
Mhm.
Tatiana Maslany. So I assume this is in the Canadian woods
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah. I think, supposedly he was shooting it at the same time that he was shooting the monkey.
It's the hardest working man in showbiz, man. Jesus.
Yeah, like, or it was, like, back to back or something like that, but apparently these 2 were happening quite close to each other.
And he, you
So,
know,
yeah, it was in Canada.
he loves the man loves shooting in the woods. I mean, even, Long Legs and Gretel and Hansel.
Gretel and Hansel. Yeah, I mean, it is for sure an Oz Perkins joint.
Yeah,
Um, and it exists wholly in his universe. And as a matter of fact, when I was watching it, I was, thinking to myself, like, what genre is this? Like, what subgenre of horror is this? And you can never quite put an Oz Perkins movie in a subgenre. I think he has his own subgenre, you
I
know?
yeah, and I do think I agree, and I do think, like, there's always an element of fairy tale to his stuff.
Right, right. And
Sometimes more blatant, like, I feel like in this one and in, obviously,
Gretel and
Gretel and
Gretel and
Hansel,
Hansel. Uh-huh.
but I feel like even Longlegs is a
Well,
fairy tale in the guise of a serial killer movie.
they are all cautionary tales.
Yeah,
They're all such cautionary tales, whether it is a cautionary tale for a kid, like in Long Legs, or whether it's like I guess I don't know if you can call Hansel and Gretel like the hero journey, but
yeah,
it is, the twin heroes and where their I just got all Joseph Campbell on you. And where their path kind of like parts ways.
parts
And
ways, yeah.
yeah, and this is for sure like I don't know if I would say princess journey or
Yeah, I mean, we can get into it. I felt like,
origin story
yeah, or
or
like if what starts as a typical damsel in distress story
right,
actually
flips.
flips. Yeah.
Right. And I have to say, like, I started watching, and like, there's no question when the movie starts. There's no question what this movie's going to be about. Like, what
Yeah.
this movie's going to be about if you watch horror. But that doesn't take away from the surprises. It doesn't take away from the reveals. It doesn't take away from like the beauty of how he just constructs the story.
Yeah,
I loved it.
and I thought that or from the performances of the 2 leads. I mean, there are other people in it, but it's almost a two-hander.
Hmm.
The brother, we can get into that, and his hot Eastern European model girlfriend. So I guess, yeah, well, so one thing I really loved is it starts and you have this couple, right? You have Kiefer Sutherland's half brother, his French Canadian half brother,
Malcolm,
Malcolm, and he is bringing Tatiana Maslany, who is Liz, to his
but
super,
in the woods.
yeah, but like really nice cabin in the woods, right?
Yeah, it is like an achievement of mid-century modern
Yes.
beauty.
Yeah, and you one thing I really loved is you quickly get a sense that, like, not get a sense, this guy is loaded.
Mhm. He drives that sweet Mercedes
Yes, he quickly says, "My cousin is in this other giant cabin across the
next
wa."
door.
Yeah, yeah. So this is not, it's like, oh, it's familial or generational wealth. We'll find out
Mhm.
he's a doctor as well. They're there for, like, an anniversary trip, but one thing I really liked is from the beginning, was like, "I don't what is this relationship?" Like, and then you quickly find out, like, they're not married. It's the year anniversary, or the anniversary, I guess, of since they started seeing each other,
A something.
or something, but odd it feels, tell me if this makes sense. She's an artist, like, literally a painter. He is a doctor, and we just know, like, general fucking rich dude, right? And as a gift for the anniversary, he has bought a painting of hers and hangs it in this house, this cabin. And, like, so from that moment, I got the sense of, was like, this is, for this dude, every relationship, whether he loves her or not, is just, like, absolutely transactional.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we get into the main plot, right? Before we get into the actual narrative of these two characters, before that, we see a series of there's
Yes.
like a beautiful montage
Of
uh
beautiful women, Christy.
of beautiful women, and if you're paying attention, you realize, oh, this is all different decades.
Yeah, yeah, you have what looks like you would know better than me when it comes to costumes.
Something like early 18th century
Yeah,
and
50s
then
and
early
60s.
50s and 60s, and then you see 80s, and It's all these beautiful women through the perspective of someone watching them.
Yeah,
Very, very male gazy.
absolutely. Very much like
Mhm.
clearly a man watching them.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, which is like, what a weird start, you know? And then you
Yeah,
get,
and it's kind of like a progression of all these relationships. Like the montage is a it jumps back and forth between the women and you get the idea that you're watching a beginning and middle of relationships happening.
yes. And
Yeah.
then we land on this like little
Mhm.
secluded anniversary.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know, and maybe I was reading too much into it. It's like the idea that like she is a painter, like a legitimate artist and painter, and to him, he thinks he's doing something nice, and in reality, it's like no different than him hanging a poster up.
Right.
Like, so I don't know, I immediately got, like, not even that he was being cruel, just, like, the complete separation of wealthy people from quote unquote "normal people." That, "I bought your painting, this is a nice thing," and she's like, "I don't like seeing
It
it."
was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes, it's weird that you bought my painting, you know?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, like, "This is my craft, and you treated it like that'll be a nice
Commerce.
little thing." Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, did you get the I got the feeling that, as it happens a lot in Oz Perkins films, we don't get all the information.
Correct, yeah, no.
We never get all the which I personally love. I know there's folks out there who it's like they need to know every single detail about what's happening with characters. I prefer in the hands of someone like Oz Perkins when we only get half or
Yeah.
not even half the information.
No, and I
I just got the feeling that she has recently has gone through something, or
yes.
she recently there's something uncomfortable
Yeah,
about this.
definitely, definitely,
Yeah.
and he even says at one point, like, I'm worried about you, but we have no idea why."
Why?
And then so they're having this, like, anniversary dinner in this cabin and drinking expensive wine,
God, it's
and
a
then
beautiful cabin, Michael. It's
it
so
truly is.
beautiful.
I actually thought of you when I saw it, I was like, "Chris is gonna like this cabin."
Yeah.
All the windows.
The windows and the angles. God,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful.
And then there's a knock on the door, and Liz is like, "Are you expecting someone?" And he's like, "Nah." And then he looks out, and it's his cousin who
Darren.
yes, who lives, like you said, in the cabin next door. And he comes in,
Uh-huh.
he's immediately a piece of shit.
Yeah. He's wearing a big gold watch and a pinky ring, and he's got on a shiny shirt.
Yeah, and he
He,
has
you know,
again this girlfriend who looks like I mean, she looks like a model. There's no way around it.
there's no way she's not.
She is a model.
Like in real life and in the movie.
And yes, correct, because, like, you even can tell in movie world, Tatiana Maslany is supposed to be, like, a normal person
Right.
next to this model, and then he's like, "Her name is Minka, she doesn't even speak English, it
Her
doesn't
name
matter,
is Minka.
Minka," and then he makes fun of her for not speaking English, but he says she loves Molly, so I assume she's on ecstasy.
Model.
Yeah, and then but there is a strange moment
Mhm.
where the cousins, the 2 men go talk, and Liz says, "Are you okay?" Like, she
Yeah,
can sense that something is not right with this
person.
relationship.
Yeah. So let's not forget that, they get there and he unwraps her present, right? And then she sees a box on the table. She
Right.
sees a wrapped box on the table and just a nondescript cardboard box with string
Uh-huh.
around it. And she says, "What's this?" And he goes, "It's from the caretaker. Made a
Nothing
cake."
good has ever come when the word caretaker enters the cell, like,
Right.
nothing good can
Nothing good
happen.
comes from that. Because I was like, he didn't say housekeeper. He said caretaker.
Caretaker. Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
something bad's
And it's just
happening.
like this plain brown box. And it's a cake. The caretaker makes great cakes. It's a tradition,
It's a nice
right?
sponge.
Right. So, yes. So they're having this dinner and she starts to get sexy with him. And this is before Darren and Minka come in.
Fucking Minka.
She starts to get sexy with him and they're talking about the painting and how he just bought it and it's weird. And so she kind of sort of makes a joke about how their relationship is transactional, right?
Yeah,
She starts joking about like, I'm not giving the money back. And she gets on his lap and all this
yeah.
stuff.
And she's like, "I'm gonna throw it in your face one day."
Right.
Yeah.
And then he stops her, and he says, "Oh, we've got to eat this cake." And she's like, "What the fuck? Like, I'm on your lap."
Yeah.
And he's
Like,
like,
I'm
"No, no, no."
literally unbuttoning my shirt on
Right.
your lap, and you're like, "We gotta eat this cake."
And he goes, "It's important. We have to eat the cake. It's a really good cake." And they talk about this cake, and then she says, "I don't like chocolate." And this was when I was like, "Huh." I mean, if everything before wasn't already weird, this was when I was like, "What is happening?" She goes, "Oh, I don't like chocolate." And he cuts her a slice anyway and puts it in front of her, a chocolate cake, and is like, "But it's really good."
Yeah, so to me, and I agree with you, like, my immediate reaction was like, "This is the Rosemary's Baby, eat the" what is it,
Yeah.
moose? The
Eat the
mouse?
chocolate mousse, eat the
Yeah,
mouse.
and, you know, in Rosemary's Baby, obviously,
The mouse is spiked.
and like,
Yeah. There's no
granted, you and
question.
I have seen it a million times, but as soon as Cassavetes does that in that movie, if you
Mhm.
haven't figured out he's a fucking villain yet, you know it.
Right.
And
You
so
didn't think, yeah.
for me, as soon as she's like, "I don't like chocolate." "Oh, you have to have it, it's delicious." Was like, if you don't know yet,
There's something in the cake.
this man is not a good man.
But again, don't let this discourage you from watching the
No, no,
film
no.
because
Right.
you won't still won't know what's
No, and
gonna
there are
come.
multiple reversals,
Turns and twists.
and then she ends up so she eats the cake, and then there's this bizarre scene sort of later after they're go to bed or whatever, where she goes back and then, like, eats all of the cake.
Devours the cake.
Why is there something so weird about watching people eat cake with their hands?
I don't know. No. But I have to ask, does the conversation with the girlfriend happen before the devouring of the cake or
It does.
after? It
Before.
happens before. Yeah. So she eats the cake, right? No, it has to be after because she does it during the day,
Sorry,
I
that's what I
think.
meant, after, yes, yes, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. The girlfriend conversation comes pretty quickly,
Right.
and then
So
they
she
leave.
gets it. They get up. They get up. So then Darren and Minka show up, right?
Yeah.
And they have this weird, awkward thing. The two cousins go off. She notices that something is wrong with Minka. And she's like, "Are you all right?" And Minka's like, "Tastes like shit," is all that Minka says. And she indicates the cake. And Liz is like, "That was weird." And then Minka gets up and they
Yeah.
leave.
And also, you've been told that this woman doesn't speak any English, and, like,
Right.
clearly she does.
Yeah. So then she wakes up in the middle of the night, wanders down into the kitchen with just her iPhone flashlight, finds the cake and devours it. And
Huh.
I don't know what it is. I think I don't know because you're not supposed to eat cake with your
Yeah, there's
hands.
something so, like, "Oh god," about it.
Yeah, and the way she does it, but also again doesn't reveal everything to you. She kind of grabs a chunk of cake and it's real moist. I hate that word, but it's like a real wet cake. And she's like, and
Hashtag wet
there's
cake.
hashtag white cake. There's something in the cake,
Huh?
and you can't quite like for 2
Yeah.
seconds I thought, "Is that a finger? Like, what
Yeah,
is in
you
the
can't
cake?"
really tell what it is.
Can't really tell, and she just, like, goes to town on this wet cake, and then slow dissolve.
Yeah. And we I know I'm sort of jumping around, but, like, then we find out, like, oh, Minka was in real trouble.
Yeah, because it cuts to the next day and it's morning, right? And
Huh?
Minka's walking through the forest with her
Yeah.
bag, whatever, and she's trying to get a signal. And she's like, "I just want to get the fuck out of here. I want an Uber." She can't find a signal. And then we go into typical Oz Perkins Dreamlandia,
Yeah,
which was beautiful.
absolutely. And, in pure sort of fairy tale fashion and old mythology fashion, like, the woods are something else, right?
Right. And
Like,
he has this one shot. There's this one, he does this several times, but there's this one shot, particularly in this moment. There's several in the movie, but in this moment, he has such an eye for making an image look like two things at the same
yeah,
time.
it's really
And
kind of stunning.
weird and beautiful. And there's like a shot of Minka looking into the forest of a tree, right?
Huh? Yeah.
But this tree also looks like a rift
Yes.
in the forest, right?
Yeah.
So you for 2 seconds, you as the viewer, you can't tell if you're looking at a tree or if you're looking at some kind of like rift in the picture. And absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. I wanna say also that I think he's, like, the master of, like, the slow push in, shot after shot of just, like, a slow push into the subject, and it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, like it's the yeah, I mean he is just truly and his cinematographer are I mean, it's stunning to look at. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
do think
beautiful.
it's more than that. Like a lot of movies you and I will end up saying, "Well, it looked great, but" like I actually was also way into this. Just like
No,
what
it's like it's storytelling.
Yeah,
You know, it's, unlike, because we both hated weapons, right? We both hated weapons.
we did. We did.
It looks fine, nicely shot, it
Got
looks
some Academy
pretty.
Award nominations, so I guess we're the
Jeez, I
assholes.
guess we're the assholes. But it looks good.
But yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
we can't argue with the fact that weapons looks pretty, but I don't particularly see, like, specific storytelling in the camera work,
No, no.
whereas with Oz Perkins, you are being shown exactly what he wants you to see and how, and it's having an effect on you in some kind of way that informs the rest of the story.
Yeah, and what one thing I really loved about sort of the storytelling is how we're given information about this relationship. Like we said, we already know it's weird. The cake thing is, as the kids would say, a huge red flag.
Right.
I don't know if the kids say that, to be honest.
And then the next day, she has the conversation with the girlfriend.
Yes, and this was one of my it's so odd. This is one of my favorite moments because they wake up, he comes in and he's like just like a really strange doctor story, right? Like he
Mhm.
has this patient, at least this is what he's telling her,
Mrs. Portnoy.
Mrs. Portnoy. He has this patient who is in a medically induced coma. He's waiting to hear if she comes out of it. She's supposed to come out of it. She's not. And he's like, I gotta go in to the city and do doctor shit. But
It's weird.
it's so weird. And then his treatment of her, like, are you gonna be okay alone? I was like, oh, does he have to go like for a week? Like, where is the city? And she's like, when will you be back? And he's like, 6 or 7. And you're like, you're worried about this grown woman being on her own for a few hours, and she's like, "Go do your, doctorly duty," basically. So he leaves, but then, like, this is what you said, like, the conversation with her friend, she calls her friend who lives in the outside world,
Mhm.
and the friend is convinced that he's married and that
Yeah,
Liv is basically she calls her a side piece.
yeah.
And so
And she
all of
says,
us
"This is you're not meant to be this."
Right, and so all of a sudden I was like, "Oh shit, is that what is going on? Is this like an illicit affair that he's
But
hiding and that's why he's been so weird?"
yeah, but Liz also thinks he's married. I
Yes,
mean, that's the story, like, and the friend is like, you're not meant to be a side piece, to be a kept woman." And she's like, "I will come and get you." I still have a feeling that there's something going on with Liz that we're not privy to,
totally.
but that she's had, I don't know, she's an artist, maybe she's unstable, who knows? But that she's not fully stable as a person. And she's like, "No, I'll be fine," right? And actually gets mad at her friend and hangs up on her.
Yeah, gets mad at the implication that she is a quote kept woman. But I
Right.
also thought that was an interesting point. Like as gross as sort of like the transactional nature of this rich dude and I think sort of rich people in general is kind of what Perkins implies at the beginning. There's also something appealing about it, right? Like as a struggling artist, I don't know, it might be nice to have someone just
Patron.
yeah, to not have to worry about shit.
Right.
But she gets really angry and hangs up.
And hangs up. And then shortly after, I mean, but this is important. Like, she does tell her friend he had a cake. Like, he wanted me to eat this cake, and I ate it, and I feel like I did mushrooms.
Yes.
And the friend says, "Did you do mushrooms?" And she's like, "I don't know," because she has had like these weird visions. She's had these weird, already like weird occurrences happen. This house is weird,
Yeah, and
and the
then
forest is
it's
weird.
weird. And then, like,
Yeah.
one of the most fucked up the bag lady.
Yeah. Yeah. But first it's Minka. First it's Minka.
Right.
So she goes down because Darren shows up.
Yeah, the cousin. Yeah.
Yeah. So Darren shows up. She doesn't want to let him in. And he's like, "Why don't you let me into the house that belongs to my family?" Which I thought was really kinda like, "Wow, what a dick."
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and so she's like, "Okay." So she lets him in, and then she says, "I'm gonna go up to the bathroom." She goes
Uh-huh.
up to the bathroom because it's the only room that has a lock.
Yes.
And she basically goes up to the bathroom and avoids Darren the whole time that he's there. And it's important to note that she spilled some wine on the couch, so she had to go down into the basement, misplaced her phone. So she's in the bathroom for a long time with no cell phone.
Right.
And so she literally has to wait for Darren to get the fuck out of the house. So he does. She comes back downstairs, right? Looking around, looking for him. She goes into the kitchen and discovers like the whatever
Garbage
compactor
disposal.
disposal, yeah, turns on by itself, and she turns it off and then sticks her hand down there, and I
Dude,
was like,
I was
"Girl,
like,
what
"Come
are you
on,
doing?"
girl. Get
I was
out of
like,
what are you
it
doing, bro?"
already turned on by itself. What are you doing?" Anyway, so she puts her hand down there and pulls out Darren's gold
Gold
watch.
watch.
It's weird, but
Very
then
weird.
she turns around and Minka is sitting at the table,
Yes.
and she's like, "How did you get inside?" And Minka goes, "I'm already inside." And then it cuts to a tiny Minka.
Yes.
It cuts to a tiny Minka sitting at the table with big Minka, and she's like, "Me too. I'm inside too." And she's like, "What the fuck?" And she wakes up, and that's when she, like, whatever, she spills the wine or anything. Anyway, so all that happens, and then we get Bag Lady.
Yeah. I mean, we got some nice, like, Lynchian kinda shit going on here.
It's really weird because Bag Lady's also just sitting at the table, and when we say Bag Lady, like, it's a woman with a grocery bag, a plastic grocery bag
Yeah.
on her head.
And it
You
is
can't see her face, and
terrifying.
there's a fly flying
Yeah.
inside, like, it's
And then she sort of does these weird hand symbols.
mhm,
It's so jarring.
yeah, so
And
weird,
so all this is happening, and on top of that, when Darren showed up, he was surprised she was still there. And so, I guess in her mind, in Liz's mind, there's thoughts of like, "Oh, is the wife coming?" But I think all of us are like, "He expected her to be dead?"
he expected her to be dead,
Yeah, and
I think.
I do t yes, well, clearly.
Yeah,
Eventually, I mean, not to ruin everything or jump so far ahead, but, like, eventually he comes what's his name comes back, Malcolm
yeah.
comes back, and go ahead. You
No,
got
no,
something?
I was gonna say it was, like, one of the kind of freakiest moments of the movie is, like, he comes back and he's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "I thought you were gonna be home later."
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Well, it turns out I didn't have to be home later," right? And they're kinda lying on the that he's brought her a bottle of wine. Well, first she says, "You left me alone. Darren came over. It was fucked up. And who's the lady with the bag on the head?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And then he pulls out this bottle of wine, like, in this really weird
Yeah,
way.
because she's, like, ready to go. Like, she has her
Yeah.
coat on,
She's
she's
like,
like,
"I'm
"Take me
leaving.
home." Yeah.
I wanna go, and who is this woman with a bag on her head?" And he kinda, like, makes this face, and he's like, "Just let me do some things. Hold on. Let me go check the house because she says, 'Check the house and see if anybody's in here.'" He comes back to where she's at and takes out a bottle of expensive wine, I gather. I gather she likes expensive wine, and he's like, "Let's have a glass." So they're sitting in the living room, and they're having a glass of wine, and then she asks him about his day, right? And then she says, "How is Mrs. Portnoy?" And he just says, "Who's Mrs. Portnoy?" And immediately you see her face, like, I am being gaslit, right? I have something is going on here. And then he plays it off. He just plays it off because he then goes on to explain that Mrs. Portnoy died. She didn't
Right,
make it.
and
But
that
in the moment, it really does feel like he's fucking with her.
yeah, and she goes up to and sh but again, her initial reaction is, "Did you go into the city to be with your wife? Are you married?" And
Right.
he's like, "No, you just have to let me explain. You did catch me, but let me explain."
Mhm.
And then she goes to the bathroom because it's
Mhm.
the only place with a lock, like you said, the only door that locks, and she finds a photo of him that is clearly from, like, the 50s, right?
From the 50s. Yeah.
It's black and white. He's with one of the women we saw in the opening.
Yeah.
He's the same age.
Yeah.
And she's like,
What the
basically
hell?
like, "The fuck is going on?" on. And he's
Yeah.
like, "I am Malcolm whatever. I am a doctor. I do love you. However,
However, I'm also this guy,
there's some other shit
and
going on."
there's other stuff going on. And like, it's really weird because she's had visions up until this time. She's had these weird visions and these strange, kind of like ghostly figures in the house that appear behind her, and the necks get really long. I mean, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's and weird as shit. Like, it's just really
Weird,
weird.
weird, weird, weird. And some of these visions, like, they speak to her, or like she hears a voice that says, "You're the mother," or something like that. "You're the mother." And she's like, "What the fuck?"
And
But
she's
also
found
the
that
like,
locket in the river.
mhm.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, and it's like she opens the locket and we don't see what she sees, but it's clearly like upset. She keeps the locket. It's very strange. So fast forward back to this moment in the bathroom, and he's like, "I do love you. I am this person. I'm not married. However, I've been around for 200 years."
yeah. Also, there's not really a lock on the bathroom.
Right. There's no
That
lock
was
on the bathroom.
why
It
I
just
told you.
seems nicer to say
Yeah,
that there's a lock so
yeah.
people feel more
But
comfortable.
yes, I've been alive for 200 years.
And so then we get the narrative. Then we get his story, right? Which is we flash back to late or early 18th century,
I'm gonna say old-timey French Canada, just,
old-timey French Canada, right? And it's two young boys with like a like long flintlock rifle going through the forest. And we learn that these two young boys in kind of like old-timey clothes are Darren and Malcolm, cousins, going through the forest. They own all this land. He goes into this explanation that's like, we're just like these Westport, was it Westport or West something? It's like some region of, basically, we are the wealthy white men who have been in ownership of this land for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And so then you start to see, it's like, oh, it is very fairy tale like. This is like a little story about who has been in charge, who's going to stay in charge. He is every man who's ever been in charge
yeah,
throughout the history of this continent. But back to the fairy tale. We found her, he says. We saw her in the forest and we had seen her before, and she was naked and dancing, and that's not allowed.
right.
Our fathers had told us.
Yeah, because 'cause they're on their this woman, so they find this woman who looks exactly like,
Exactly like Liz.
yeah, on their land, and that's not allowed, and this time they find her and she's pregnant, and
Hmm.
she's about to give birth in the woods, which to me, the dancing and naked and giving birth in the woods implies that
She was a
she's
witch.
she's a witch,
Right.
especially after I just watched Hamnet, and there's quite a bit about witchcraft and giving birth in the woods.
Amazing. Oh, I can't wait to see that.
It's so good, and so they
So
fucking shoot her!
they shoot her, and they drag her back to the farm or wherever they live, and they put her in the pigsty,
Yeah, they
and
put
she,
her, this shot pregnant woman, they throw her in with the pigs.
and it's I think it's important to say that they're boys when this
Yeah,
happens. They're not grown up Malcolm and grown up Darren. They are boys. They're
yeah,
like 12 and 13.
yeah.
That's super important. Like, I texted you after I saw it. I don't know if you saw my text, but my first text to you after watching the movie was like, "Do you think Oz Perkins is angry about the Epstein files?" I think he might be.
Yes, I agree.
So she's listening to this like crazy story that for now hundreds of years after, they've had to like, do they keep her alive? What is it?
So no, what happens is, so when they're boys, they shoot her and they wound her. I think they hit her in the arm or the leg or something, and they drag her back
Yeah,
in with the pigs, and they're like, "Yeah, fuck her, whatever." She's in with the pigs, and then they come back later that night or the next day or whatever, and she has given birth.
but to what?
Yes, and that's what he says. But to what? And basically, whatever she gave, my hair is insane. Whatever she gave birth to, are these spirits or whatever, uh,
Mhm.
that still inhabit the woods and the house. And Malcolm,
Mhm.
when he's talking to Liz, says, "They appear to you as other women?" Like,
They appear to you as other women. Yeah.
and you find out that he tells this parable while sort of recounting what happened about the fish on the hook, and if you let me go, I'll grant you 3 wishes. And he basically says, like, you and that woman and then her children, you're the fish. You can't free yourselves. You need me.
It's real nasty.
Oh,
It's
yeah, it's the
so nasty, and I mean, again, I'm gonna bring it up because the world is on fire, and it's like basically the Epstein files. It's like
yeah,
basically what these rich, powerful men do to these young women, and the parable that he tells about the fish is basically like, "It's your fault."
yeah. I mean, he even says, and I think it goes back to him buying the paint, like, you are one more transaction, you know?
Yeah. It's your fault. Make these promises. The fish makes a promise that it'll grant me 3 wishes, but the fish doesn't realize it's just a
It's just
fish.
a fish. Yeah, and he even says it doesn't have the imagination to doesn't have the yeah, imagination to see its own freedom or imagine its own freedom.
Yeah,
And basically what you find out is these children, whatever they are, of this witch that they killed, of this woman that they killed, still inhabit the woods and the house, and every however many years, they get hungry. And when their screams of hunger become too loud for the neighbors, that's his line,
yeah,
he and his cousin feed them. And
right.
what they feed them is
Is
women
women.
that they have seduced via their, I assume, wealth,
Right.
and whatever, and lured to their cabins. That's what happened to Minka, hot Eastern European,
Hot, poor Eastern
yeah,
European Minka.
model who likes ecstasy and he can get it for her. And this is he now Malcolm is going to do this to Liz. Liz is going to be the latest sacrifice. And in return, the two cousins are
Live longer.
live long. Yeah, keep living. They're 200. He says, I'll,
Yeah.
you'll let me live a little longer. That's
I
it.
thought it was I thought it was interesting that he says to her, he says when she's saying, "This thing appeared to me," right? And whatever, and we see them also as these strange kind of like women ghosts sometimes. Sometimes it's just weird.
Yeah, it's like miss,
Right. But I found it so interesting that he's really surprised. He says, "So they appear to you as women?"
huh? Yeah,
So it makes me wonder, like, how does he see them? How do
right.
they appear to him?
To him.
And the fact that these spirits, whatever they are the woman form is their true form, and that's why Liz can see them, or are they choosing to appear to her
As that.
as
Yeah.
women? So then she gets locked in the basement.
My God. So yeah, he locked her in the basement. He goes and puts on a record. He also, real quick, because this is to me like one of the true sort of horror, like he boxes up her shit, like her phone and her jewelry or whatever, her personal effects. He writes Liz 2023 or whatever year it is. And then he goes into this room that is filled with all of these other boxes for
Mhm.
centuries, I guess, the last 200 years or whatever, excuse me, with different women's names
Names.
on them. And he's like, says their names, is like, meet Liz. And he
Meet
puts her
Liz.
little box on there.
Right, and he takes the picture, and he puts the picture that she found back in its box.
Yeah. And then he get from the 19s or whatever. He's like, look what I found to this box with this woman's name on it.
Right.
So fucked up.
It's so fucked up, and it's kind of like, oh, so the spirit of that woman, that's what had to happen. Like the spirit of that woman dropped that picture for her,
Yes,
you know?
absolutely. Yeah. And
And then it cut, and you think like it could end there and it would be creepy as fuck,
right.
but it doesn't.
Right, because
We
we have
cut to
there's a if it's a fairy tale, we have to have a
right,
moral of some kind.
right. So it cuts to the basement. Tell us what
Dude,
happens in the basement, Michael.
I there's been like Bag Lady, I was like, dude, that is a creepy, creepy image. When she is in the basement, she starts to see these spirits or whatever take form, and they are still women, but each one is terrifying
More terrifying than the
than the
last.
next. And I don't
The
even
last the last time I was this scared of a movie ghost was Haunting of Hill House.
Of like, yeah, yes, yeah, because it's so hard to make ghosts, at least for people who watch ghost stories all the time. It is really difficult to make a quote scary ghost. And then so many filmmakers now, whether it's their decision or the
They
studios or
just
whatever,
make them look
see,
like barbarian chud. Yeah.
yeah, yes, yeah, or terrible CGI, barbarian chud. These ghosts or spirits or whatever are so strange and specific and horrifying.
I don't even want to describe it because I don't
No,
want to
no,
spoil it
no,
for
and
people.
I do not have the skill to describe it. Like, you have
No.
to see it
And it's like, and it's not just like one, it's like one after the
after
other
another.
is more terrifying than the last one.
But then, again, we've already spoiled the whole movie, so the sort of final twist is that they don't want to kill Liz.
No.
They want Liz essentially to be their mother.
Right.
And so,
Because she looks exactly like their
yeah,
mom.
and we have seen things throughout that, like, she's found the locket, which is clearly very
Mhm.
old. She ate the whole cake, and he says no one has done that before.
And it didn't really
And
affect her, she just felt
yeah,
like she'd gotten mushrooms.
and he
There's
says,
the
"I should have known you were different."
there's a moment when she's in the tub and
Yes.
there's that beautiful window behind her and he superimposes like the river so that she just I don't know, she looks like she belongs in
Yes.
this environment.
And so she and these ghost spirit horrifying things who say they are her children, but also the women who came before her,
Mhm.
start laughing with her in like this
Mhm.
very strange, like, oh shit kind of way.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, fucking the wrath of these women is
Yes.
coming. And so when Malcolm wakes up the next day, he
Oof.
has aged. The hundreds of years he's been alive have caught up with him.
Can I go back for 2 seconds?
Yeah, please
Because while
do.
she's in the basement and she sees something in the darkness and she realizes it's like a kind of altar,
Yes.
right? And the spirits start crawling out, and then the spirits take out like this I mean, we've already spoiled it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They take out this preserved head from this, like, jar of honey or
Yeah, I
something.
thought it was like a jar of amber. I don't I
Yeah,
yeah,
well, and honey's a preservative, so that's
right.
why I assumed it was honey. And so
That sounds right.
they
Yes.
take out this head and it's a head and they hang it up like in place of honor, right? And then they're
Uh-huh.
like, "You're our mother."
And there's a
And then
yeah, and there's a bullet hole in the
yeah,
skull.
in the skull. So
Yeah.
then fast forward, he wakes up
He's gotten old and decrepit. I mean, we sort of like the movie ends, they have taken him, he is hanging upside down
from the tree.
from the tree. Whoever did his I wish I had written her name down. The makeup artist who did his age makeup, Aaron Makeup, did a fantastic job. I Sutherland is like, he's a few years younger than I am. He's in his mid 40s. But like, damn, dude, that age makeup. So he's old and withered and he's eating and he's hanging upside down. And then Perkins shoots essentially from his POV. So Liz is walking but upside down, which is such a strange thing to see.
Mhm.
And she is wearing an apron and she has the cake and talks to him like a child.
Yeah.
Like, open your
She's like,
mouth. And he's like, I
"Open
don't
your
want
mouth."
to like cut me down. And she's like, this fork's going in your mouth one way or another. So make it taste good. And then she literally says, here comes the
The
airplane.
airplane
And
and forces him to eat it.
yeah,
And then in like one of the most beautiful shots, the most beautiful end shots of a movie I've ever seen that made me go, "Fuck, yeah."
yeah, yeah,
He's still hanging from the tree, and they submerge his head in a jar of honey,
yeah.
and they leave him there.
While an old, like, is it like a 60s song or 70s or 80s song? I can't
Yeah,
even remember. Like, is it I Fooled Around and Fell in Love or something?
yeah,
Or 80s song is 70s or 80s is that I fooled around and it's just playing
yeah.
over that image. Yeah, it's got fairy tale elements. It has like what this woman I used to work with called good for her horror,
Yes.
which is like Midsummer, Pearl,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
witch.
It is for like, yeah, I felt like when I watched The Witch the first time, watching the end of this movie. I
Yeah,
And I immediately I mean, it's like there's no getting past it, and it's like, this is not a secret, and I'm not, like, extolling any kind of wisdom. Perkins is mad about the shit that's happening right now, I'm sure of it, and
yeah.
the fucking Epstein files and all that. I keep bringing it up, but it's because it's so present in our lives right now.
Yeah, and And I think even you have again, I mean, you have you see them in pure, centuries ago, they have stolen this land, obviously, right?
Yeah, and they victimize women
And but
for
yeah,
centuries.
they've stolen land, but God forbid anybody would step on it now. It's theirs, you know?
Right, right. We are in charge, and we're always gonna be in charge.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember which asshole Republican said this like past week, because he was mad at Billie Eilish because Billie Eilish won her Grammy and was like, "Fuck you." Like, I think she said, "Nobody's illegal on stolen land," and then went on a
Uh-huh.
rant. And some fucking Republican response was, "It's not stolen land, it's conquered," as though
Dude,
to doubly add a "fuck you" to it. And so
that's
I think Perkins is hitting on all that, and I think yeah, I mean, I think in true sort of fairy tale fashion and in older all sort of like not all, but a lot of old mythology and folklore, the nature is inherently feminine and men conquer, destroy it, but ultimately,
they'll get theirs.
they'll get theirs. Yeah, and I think that's the message we get, and that I think there's something beautiful, truly beautiful about not that just that she, quote, "wins" or whatever, but that at the end of the day, he's this rich, powerful man for centuries, but at the end, he's just a little fucking boy
Yeah,
whose mommy has to
has to feed him.
feed him. And I
Yeah,
think that yeah, there's such a I don't even know, like, this is, like, clearly a whole conversation for another time, but I remember, like, reading when I was teaching theater history, sort of cognitive dissonance that was required in English men during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I
right,
to remain incredibly sexist and misogynistic and all of these things while a woman was in power, like,
right.
God granted power, and sometimes I feel like it's this, they denigrate and we're powerful and denigrate women and all of this is like a lady made you and fucking fed you
Right,
and cleaned your shit for years.
right.
You're
Yeah,
a little boy. Like, that's
yeah,
it. Anyway,
yeah.
that's a whole other thing, but yeah, so I very much enjoyed this movie. I really, like you said, Perkins kind of creates his own worlds, and, this felt like right in his wheelhouse to me, you know?
It really did. There was a second there where there were so many moments in the film where I also, and this may just be me, but it's because I watch a lot of horror, y'all, and I've seen Psycho 5 million times. But there was a few times where I was like, oh, he's also kind of, there were moments where I was like, this is kind of a love letter to stuff that his father did, like Psycho. Like there is very much an element of like this woman who's lost, who is a kept woman going out and being in this place where the man is very much in control. And then I was like, oh, this is a totally different story, but the themes are the same. It's like,
Yeah.
n- it was just really interesting, and it's not just the way he shoots movies and his dialogue and the way he's able to give you very little and still tell the story, and he makes you do this, like, he makes you lean in and want to watch and want to see what's in the corner of the frame or what's happening down, there, and it's just I love his movies so much, and I love the Perkins verse for that, and I love fairy tales.
Me too, and I thought another thing that he did and really well in this and I wrote the screenwriter is Nick Leopard. That's a name.
What a
Maybe
name.
it's like Leopard, I don't know. It's like
Le
Nick Leopard.
Bard.
But, one thing I thought that they did very well is, I th this I that truly at the end of the day, you will never fully know the person you're with. And
Mhm.
granted, they've only been together a year, but even if you've been together 50 years and you know that person better than any other human does, you still don't know them.
You still
Like,
don't. It's
there
true.
is and I thought the way they unfolded that relationship, I thought was a really interesting way to tackle that. You can be as intimate as humanly possible with another person, for an extended period of time, you can know them better than anyone else and still not know
And
shit.
never truly know
Yeah,
what's going on in their head or
yeah.
in their heart.
Or if they're 200 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Or if they're a serial killer.
Yeah, yeah, and I really like that aspect. So yeah, it's the Keeper 2025, Oz Perkins. I it's streaming everywhere, right?
I
I think
think
I
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
So check it out. I really enjoyed it.
I really, really loved it, and it's the first of the new ones that I've seen that kept me interesting and I really loved it.
Yeah.
I really loved it. I'm
Yeah.
not being super eloquent right now, but
Yeah.
I'm still processing it, and
Eloquent enough. Yeah, me too. And it's something like yeah, I
I'm
would
gonna
watch
watch it again.
absolutely, absolutely. I would totally watch it. Cool. All right. Man, it's good to be back.
It is good to be back, and so I am just waiting. I am waiting for Luc Besson's Dracula
Will it
to
ever
be
come out, Christy?
well, it's going to Alamo Drafthouse. It's in limited release. I will not pay that much money to go see
No,
this movie.
no way.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I will watch it when it's streamable
Hell yes.
because I cannot wait to hate on this movie.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
cannot wait to hate on it.
Yeah. So we will hate watch Dracula in the near future and we'll
Hate
find
Fest
something
20
else. Yeah, and we'll find something else before then because I do think I hope the other people feel it, but for me, it's at least like, oh, this is I need to talk about horror movies. It makes me happy
Yeah,
in a world
me
that is
too.
terrible.
And now that I'm trying to do less social media and stay away from the social media, I feel like, "Oh, now I can enjoy a little bit of horror."
Yeah,
I'm
totally.
not faced with it, like, doom scrolling constantly. It's not good for you people. It's
It's
not
not.
good for you people. Stop doing it.
Yeah. And so yeah, we'll find something else to watch and we'll be back.
Yeah. We'll
All
see
right.
you next time. Thanks,
All right.
y'all.
I rock out.